All right, looks like we live. Let me switch over to my page.
We're missing candy.
Chris, you got any old phone?
Um, 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 um,
No, but I don't got no old phones.
okay.
Said no, but I don't got no old phones.
Shoot.
Bobby do? Did Bobby just buy a phone?
You cracked it.
Give me a
He
second.
cracked
Give
his
me a
new
second
phone?
here,
Oh,
audience.
no, that
Give me
one.
a second here, because we are live.
We are live, audience.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga.
Uh, Come on now. What's going on with my page here? All of a sudden, I can't find nothing.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Now I'm trying to get to my page so I can make sure I see the comments.
Oh yeah, I got you. Oh god.
Oh, here we go. My bad. Oh my goodness. Okay. And
Give me a minute.
all right, here we go.
Robert, you stay here.
Yeah.
All right, and here we go. Yo. What's good, gamers? What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with another live stream. Remember to hit that like button, help spread my content to a wider audience. Make sure you hit that bell icon and stay notified when I put out new content. I would appreciate it. And as promised, I have a special guest today. I don't think this man needs an introduction, but I will introduce him anyway. This man is directly responsible for me starting my YouTube channel. He is without a doubt my favorite YouTuber. He's very outspoken, speaks his mind, great content. I am speaking about none other than King Thrash Gaming. You know, welcome to the channel, bro. Go ahead and shoot that intro.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's also an honor to be, your fave on the map. You know what I'm saying? I take that as a compliment, one of the most best compliments you can give a nigga. So appreciate that for sure. What's up, y'all, man? Let's get on with these questions. Let me see what it is and how it does. And run it. I'm down for whatever. Run it.
No doubt. So what you been up to lately, bro?
Man, nothing, just working. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to put videos out as much as I used to anymore. I still do it. Tired as fuck though. You know what I'm saying? Ever since this promotion, man, I got all kind of different shit I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? With fucking, this big ass company I'm in. So it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? The check is gonna come. It's gonna be cavy. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Just post it, man. Gaming, working, sleeping, shitting, and then repeating that whole sequence.
I hear you, man. I know what the life is like, man. Juggling a bunch of shit. I work. My commitment to the gym. My passion of gaming. My new passion with YouTube. So I definitely know, man. Sometimes it's just not enough hours in the day.
Facts.
You had a situation. You had a situation with your YouTube channel. You want to fill the gamers in?
Shit. All right, look. For y'all that don't know, I can still make videos, but right now I can't stream because YouTube want to be acting like little bitches. You know what I'm saying? Basically. Let me break it down to y'all niggas like this, man. I make a lot of videos and I talk a lot of shit. I say nigga probably 1,200,596 million times. But YouTube don't care about that. I made a video and it had kill in it. Now, it was called something like we need to stop. The gaming industry, big companies in the gaming industry plan to kill gaming. Here's the plan, or here's what we can do to solve it. Something along them lines. It had kill, plan, you know what I'm saying? We, us. So the algorithm thought it was some kind of violent, you know what I'm saying, anti-social video. And really that video was about gamers as a whole. Xbox, everybody. It wasn't even no console war video. But I guess the algorithm picked up kill, picked up, all that shit and thought it was some kind of hate video. So they hate crimed me, basically. So I can't I appealed it, and if it goes through, then I'll be on sooner, but we won't be able to do the roundtable podcast for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? With because they got me suspended on some bullshit. So that's basically what's been going on with them niggas.
Okay. How about videos? Are you still able to make videos?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna make one today. I'm making a Spider-Man 30 things you missed in Spider-Man video. So since you know that trailer came out, I'm gonna put all three of them together, or at least two of them together. And I noticed a lot of shit. So I'm gonna do one of those videos probably today if I got enough time. If I don't fall asleep. But I'll be doing that video today. So no, I can still launch videos and all that shit. Is just I got a strike on my community, so I have to wait 3 months for that shit to lift up.
Okay, that's what's up. For the audience, so you heard it. He is still able to make videos. So make sure you still check out his page. Make sure you check out his content as he is still able to make videos. It's just the roundtable. We're still gonna. What's up, Gunru Gaming? What's going on? King Thrash is still able to make videos. As far as the Roundtable podcast goes, the Roundtable has come together. We're going to find a way to keep these podcasts going. We're going to circulate, move it around, and do it through different channels. So on Tuesday, when we normally have the Roundtable podcast, you might want to search King Thrash Gaming or search the Roundtable. Put that in your
the Roundtable, yeah,
or the Roundtable in your search.
Yeah.
And you can catch us that way. So while we're on that subject, I definitely want to give a shout out to Sick Humor TV for the use of his facility, as I like to put it last week, for the use of his channel and letting us hold the roundtable from his channel. We definitely appreciate that, so thanks a lot, bruh.
Yeah, good looking out, Sick. Oh, and also I want to say, you know what I'm saying? I know me and Big Money had an argument. Y'all niggas need to understand me and Big Money argue all the time. We are like brothers, so when we disagree to the maximum. But trust me, me and him are already talking. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't ever that we wasn't talking. Niggas was just hot, got short fuses. Niggas believe what they say. I got him fucked up. He got me fucked up, and that's how that shit go. But at the end of the day, man, we still brothers on here, man. So no, we good. You know what I'm saying? So don't think we not. We is. It's just trust me. It ain't the first time we argued. Trust, nigga, believe it. It's the first time we did it online. That's why I was checking his ass. Because he was doing that shit online, and we don't normally do that shit online because we always disagree and talk shit to each other, so it's normal.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah, things got pretty animated there for a while, but it's good to hear. Everything's smoothed out, everything copacetic. Same thing. He's Big Money still down with the round table, so he'll be there. So make sure y'all catch him too.
Yes, sir. And shout out to the Roundtable Podcast, man. One thing I got to say about us, man, is that we passionate about what we do. None of us getting paid. I'm not monetized. They're not, monetized. I don't got no super chat. But everybody wants to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like we going on other channels. Like, what can we do to continue the podcast? Because everybody at the Roundtable wants to speak their mind about gaming and keep that shit going. So shout out to the Roundtable for having that perseverance. Yes, I said perseverance, nigga. And I much love to everybody on the panel, man. Real shit.
That is what's up. That is what's up. And before we get into the first question, also I want to say what's up to my man Gunru Gaming. He's here in the chat. Keep an eye out for his channel. I believe it's going to be called Gunru King. So keep an eye out for his channel. That is one of my boys, and this is also one of my friends that I'm working out to try to bring him on to the Roundtable Podcast. He's a good dude.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. That's who I have.
He'll get on.
That's what's up. That's who I had my first interview with. He's a cool dude. So keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, definitely. I'll keep an eye out for you, my nigga. And you can get on the Roundtable, no problem. You cool with Clay, you cool with me. But I'm gonna check your channel, and if that shit weak, nigga, I'm gonna let you know. Nah.
Hey,
I'm gonna let you know, nigga.
You heard it from Mr. Do What You Do.
Yes, sir. Check cuz out. I'll be checking all of them out. I know I say that shit a lot, man, but I'll be true to my word, man. All them anybody I say I'm gonna check your channel out, nigga, I'm gonna check your channel out, and I'll leave you a number in the comment section. 1 through 10. They're gonna leave you a number and let you know what your rating is right now, my nigga. But no, I do check people out, man. I'm true to my word with that shit, man.
All right, so
but I definitely. Go ahead.
My bad. We got a comment here. from Mr. Diver. And so before we get into my next question, I'll answer his. He says, my first question is, how the fuck is the PS5 supposedly taking the Xbox out of his misery? Now he is referring to my earlier live stream. I don't know. Oh, so like, no, the PS5 has not taken it out of his misery. I am asking if it will take it out of his misery based on the recent leaks, which we'll get to that in the podcast. But there was some leaks recently that you are probably aware of. What up? Keita Joe? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. What up, Diver? So we'll get to those leaks here in a minute, Diver. And based on these specs that I've heard, it sounds like Sony might be building a monster here. I don't know. Oh, this is Vidiot. Oh, what's up? What's up, Vidiot?
Videados.
Okay. So you know what? It's ironic that Diver asked that. So that is my next question. Have you heard about the latest rumors with the PS5, the specs and everything?
Yeah, I heard about it. I don't believe it though. Me personally, I don't believe it, man. And the reason why I don't believe it is that they never released the specs without releasing, like, the same nigga would. You would have to have a dev kit, or it would have to be somewhere deep into the motherfucking deep into the business. It's just too much information right now. I heard it's like 20 gigabytes. I mean, 20 flops or something, 20 teraflops.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it's too much. It's just too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Sony not going to go that. We're not for console gaming. We don't need to make that big of a leap. You don't go from 6 or 4 or 6 being the maximum right now and then jump to 20. That's why I can't stand by that, because it's just too much. Too big. We don't need that much. The games we got now are coming out beautiful as fuck. We don't need triple, quadruple, 5 times, 10 times the fucking teraflops just to make a game look better. I don't think that would go that far. I think it'd be at least 10 or 8 to 10. You know what I'm saying? That's what Cerny said. And Cerny's the guy who built the PS4. He said 8 to 10 teraflops. Man, my bad. My damn girl calling. It's 8. They need 8 to 10 teraflops just to get 4K itself. I mean, why do we need more teraflops for? They should be worried about CPU more than we need GPU. So it's like, it shit got to match up. And I know they always do this shit. And that's why I'm like, I'll rather wait until Sony has their reveal party. You know what I'm saying? I also heard it was coming out 2018, people saying, right?
Yeah, that's the rumor. Originally about these 10 teraflops, I originally said, no, that's impossible. That's just no way it's going to happen. But because of that rapid pack math that they were talking about a year and a half ago, whatever the case may be, I'm wondering if it's possible, because isn't that rapid pack math like supposedly splitting splitting the teraflops or whatever?
Yeah, I got a video. I got a video coming out shitting on PlayStation. I think that's gonna be my next video, because I think a lot of people forget. Nigga like me, I don't forget, and I'm a gamer, my nigga, so I don't leave nobody hanging. And I remember the promise of rapid pack math, and that's supposed to be in Far Cry 5. You know what I'm saying? And we look at the results we get from that. It's a beautiful game, but it's not reaching what? It's not even reaching 1800p. You know what I'm saying? It's like rapid path math. I mean, it's a theme for the Vega, and that's good, but it's just, you got to have more than just that technique. You got to have the power to back that technique. I mean, believe it or not, that game does run rapid pack math. I mean, it's already announced. So does Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein runs rapid pack math, but neither one of those do much. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we'll see. I'm pretty sure next gen will be using. It's a new one too, that laser, whatever they're using. I forgot what it's called, but we'll have to see it. So I'm the wait and see guy. You know what I'm saying? I waited to talk about rapid pack math when Far Cry 5 came out. I waited when Wolfenstein came out. I mentioned it, and I'm gonna mention it again with Wolfenstein. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it did nothing. It was just buzzwords right now for the PS4. PS5, it might have more power. It's going to have more power, probably taking more advantage of that technique, but it's not doing much for the PS4 right now. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm the type of guy, I'm gonna wait and see. You know what I'm saying? That's what I gotta do.
Okay,
on
and
that.
then this is coming from a site called semiaccurate.com. I guess they
Mhm.
have been I guess they've been spot on in the past.
Yeah.
I guess they called it, about that thing with Nintendo and I think AMD or something.
Hmm.
They
Yeah,
also
Nintendo working with Nvidia. Nintendo
okay.
working with Nvidia for the Switch. They called that shit out.
Okay, and
Hmm. Hmm.
I guess they called out, the Xbox One X was when it was still in the Project Scorpio stage. I guess they
Hmm.
called out the PlayStation Pro when it was still in the Project Neo phase.
Hmm.
So I guess these people have been
Hmm.
spot on this time. I mean, they've been spot
They
on a few
have.
times. So, so the
They have.
the 20 teraflops,
That's too
yeah,
much.
yeah.
That's gonna be too expensive.
Okay. Also,
Name me a GPU. I'm like, said 20 teraflops in 2018? Nah. Why? But no, go ahead, go ahead.
all right. So also
Yeah.
also with the
My
PS5.
bad, go ahead.
Oh, yes, it's all good.
Uh-huh.
So also with the PS5, they are saying that the PSVR is supposed to be baked into the console. So my
Mm.
belief is that if that is going to happen, that is going to eliminate some of the wiring. That is going to eliminate that black box, that processor
Mm-hmm.
in the current PlayStation VR. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and with 20 with a rumored 20 teraflops of power, I would I would imagine that the games on the PSVR will probably be almost as clear as the TV itself. So how do you feel if that were to materialize?
Well, I'll say it like this. Teraflops, depending on how that shit's working, will make your game look better. For sure, for sure. Definitely. VR game or whatever. It'll make a VR game look fake. But I need to know what the CPU is gonna be. I need to know where the frames per second business side of that's gonna be because VR games have to run at 60 frames per second so people don't get sick. 60 plus. Well, goddamn earphones is tripping, but it's falling off. But I need to see. I mean, it would be beautiful if that happens. It'll be beautiful, but I still need to know what the CPU is. This is gonna be like the Xbox One X all over again, to where you got a big CPU and a big GPU and a small CPU, and you got games looking good but running bad or being held back because the CPU will get hurt too much. So I'm pretty sure PlayStation know how to make hardware, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't make the same mistake Microsoft did. But 20 teraflops. I mean, 20. I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm on a wait and see approach, but it will be beautiful, and it will be less wires if it's built in and baked into the console. It will make sense for them to bake it into the console, but how big is that console gonna be? Gonna be with that shit? I don't think we'll ever. I don't think we'll ever see wireless VR. We can barely do wireless controllers. My controller still trips out every now and then. Imagine if you have a whole screen tripping out wireless. I mean, even think about share play now with the Vita. You still can fuck up. That shit could still mess up depending on, what I'm saying, how strong the signal is. So I don't think wireless would be happening anytime soon, but I do think it'll be baked in. If they do make it baked in, I believe that can happen. But and making less wires, that'll be sexy. Hopefully they'll make it come with the VR. That'll be even better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely agree. I think I think a wireless VR headset is a couple of generations away. But if they gonna bake it right into the console and that eliminates uh, the processor, I'm definitely all for that. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
so moving on to my next question. Let's see here. Do you think the PS5 will get out of the gates faster than the Xbox Two?
Would it what? Sell out the gates faster?
Yeah, like when both of the consoles launch, do you
Mm-hmm.
think do you think the PS5 will have a better launch? Do you think it will jump into an early lead when the next generation starts?
Definitely, as long as they don't fuck it up. I mean, even if you think about it, with the PS3, they fucked it up. They fucked the PS3 up bad. Pricing, everything bad. but it never lost a month in NPD in worldwide sales to Xbox. Same thing with the PS4. The PS4, people don't understand it, but PS4 has never lost a month in worldwide sales to the Xbox. Neither has the PS3. It was 1 month they were tied, and that was the best Microsoft ever did. I don't think Microsoft has ever made it to the point to where they actually truly competed with PlayStation. That's where a lot of people get it mixed up. Like they had a good year, and the numbers always looked ahead with 360, but it was only because it was out a year ahead, and people weren't buying PlayStation 3s. They were still buying PS2s. PS2s was outselling the 360 and the PS3. You know what I'm saying? Still. So people weren't done with the PS2, especially with the price of the PS3. That's the main reason why people just stayed buying PS2s. Like, man, I'd rather wait till games come out and they lower that $600 price in order for me to buy it. So if it come out again at $399, no matter what, with the titles that they have and the trust that they have from gamers, they're going to outsell Xbox. Xbox has really destroyed their name, like really bad. A lot of cats are just going to go play on their PC. You know what I'm saying? And that's the gist of it. I mean, they made their exclusives available on PC and it did nothing but hurt Xbox. You know what I'm saying? It helped PC. It's like Microsoft is working for PC and not Xbox. They brought more games to PC this generation than they did to Xbox, if you think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's I can't see them competing in any way because of that. Because they're not taking PC gamers and making PC have to buy a fucking PlayStation. They're making Xbox guys want to buy a PC because they're throwing this power narrative out there. And if you really want power, then you just go fucking PC and play Xbox games without paying for Xbox Live. This should have paid for itself after a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Microsoft has put themselves in the point to where no matter how good they do, they will still lose to PlayStation, still lose to Nintendo even. So that's how I feel about that.
That is definitely an interesting point. When the next generation starts, especially on the Microsoft side, there is a number of things to consider. Whether they launch their console first, because Microsoft is definitely a company that believes they need to get out the blocks first in order to have an early lead. It is also, another factor could be Microsoft's launch price. Have they learned a lesson? Will they price the next console at $400, or will they go with this $500 narrative? And again, you just made a good point. How motivated will someone be to buy the next Xbox when they know they can play the same games on a PC? So those are definitely all good points.
Understand.
So this next generation, do you think that the PS5 can deliver a knockout to the Xbox brand and knock them completely out of the console business?
I mean, honestly, I think that happened with PS4. That's why they're doing so much desperate moves. So many, I would take my games to PC. Like them taking their games to PC and talking about putting their games on phones and even on PlayStation and Nintendo. I believe that if they were winning or not knocking them out the park, they wouldn't do so much desperate shit. It's been 2 years since they've had an actual AAA game that meant something. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years. And then it's been more than that since they announced something. And it's been even longer than that since they announced something that was successful. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are not thinking about the money that's not being made by Microsoft. The only game they're making money on right now is Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? PUBG ain't their game. They're making 30% off the fee of having it on their console. I think it's even less than that because it's on access. You know what I'm saying? It's not even out yet. Their game is on early access, and it costs even less to be on early access. So Microsoft isn't doing anything but gaining Xbox Live accounts from PUBG. You know what I'm saying? That's why they mentioned how many players they got and not how much money they got. So like they want to talk about at the end of the day, that company wants to make money. I know that that's a $1 trillion company, but no matter what, a company is going to be in the business of making money, not losing money. So that's why I low-key think that the Xbox is on its way out, because they're putting their shit on different demographics. They're going to PC to where they don't got to make hardware. They're going to cell phones to where they ain't got to make hardware. They want to put it on Nintendo and PlayStation so they ain't got to make hardware. You know what I'm saying? So I think PS4 really killed them more than what people were understanding. But when the PS5 come out, it depends on. And my fear is that Sony, if say Microsoft's little digital shit that they're trying to do something that Sony has already touched on and failed in, and I believe Microsoft will fail as well. But let's say Microsoft did win or not win, but did get successful with digital, I'm more afraid that Sony will copy them and go after that money than actually pay attention to gamers. They did it before with Xbox Live. Xbox gamers ignored they was paying for Xbox Live, and Sony was like, "Well, shit, niggas ignoring that shit, so let's try it." And then it basically forced us. It's not even making us ignore it. It forced our hand. We have to. If we had a choice to pay for PlayStation Plus to play online or not, most of us wouldn't have PlayStation Plus. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather play online for free. But they're forcing it on us. You know what I'm saying? And that's for Microsoft forcing it on their gamers. I'm glad Sony know how to do it the right way without putting shit behind a paywall, but still, they still gave us that online paywall that we don't like. So if Microsoft makes money on that kind of technique, Sony may well pick it up. Because if Xbox gamers are killing themselves by accepting the bullshit. That's why I make the videos that I do, because these niggas accept too much bullshit and it doesn't do shit but hurt themselves. And then it trickles down to everybody else. Nintendo is even getting a fucking pay to play online service. Like, what type of shit is that? Nintendo? Like, I mean, PC is the last motherfuckers who don't got to pay to play online because them niggas was like, no, we not having it. You know? So it's different things in the business, man, that I don't want to see. But at the end of the day, man, I think Microsoft is most likely out the park. PlayStation 5 is going to knock it out regardless. It could be 7 teraflops and still whoop that ass because they have the talent to back up the power. Microsoft just doesn't have that talent to back it up. So they're in a shit place to begin with. And I don't know, that's my point on it. I think that PS5 will just be another nail in the coffin if it's not already dead. If they happen to make another console seriously, another serious console, Microsoft have already killed themselves by eliminating shit. So I don't know. That's what I think about it, at least.
I definitely agree with that. Even though I mean, I said it in the earlier podcast, the PS5 could have the same specs as the Xbox One X, and I would still buy it based on the belief that they're going to continue to provide us with games. And you just said it right there. You're talking about the talent of Sony, what kind of games they have given us right now. All the PlayStation exclusives look better than all the exclusives or lack thereof over on the Xbox side. So even if the PS5 has the original rumored 10 to 12 teraflops, I still expect the games to look amazing and run better.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can't go no further than 4K right now. Consoles can't go no further than 4K. Not for another 10 years. Because 4K TVs are just now becoming mainstream. They're not even fully mainstream yet. So, and 8K TVs don't really exist. I think there's some, but there's no point. There's there's nothing for it. There's barely anything for 4K. So their next step, and these next consoles will not be focused on reaching 8K or 6K. It'll be solidly trying to get to 4K, but probably not all the way making it. 1080p would be 100% definite, but 4K, it might be just like how the PS4 was, to where you had a lot of games at 1080p and then some games at 900p or some bullshit like that, depending on the developer. But I think that they're going to really focus. So I hope, this is my hope. I can't say what I think. I can say what I hope. And I hope that they focus on giving us 60 frames per second or as close to 60 frames per second type engine as they can. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that in 800p any day. I'll take 1080p and 60 frames any day over 4K. But if they're going to go for 4K, fine. Sony should go for 4K. I believe they will because they make 4K TVs. So I'm pretty sure they're going to go for that fully. But I hope that they really focus on making that CPU match or even outweigh the GPU of this system. That way we can have more better games running at a better frame rate.
That would definitely be nice. So what are your predictions for Sony's E3 this year?
I think that they're gonna show that Demon Souls 2. I mean that's that From Software game. I don't know if it's gonna be Bloodborne 2 or some other game. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's gonna be Bloodborne 2, to be honest. I've seen some leaks about it being Bloodborne 2, but I'm hoping they're gonna show that. They'll probably show one last. I doubt they show Spider-Man. I don't think they're gonna show Spider-Man since we got a release date for it. I doubt they show that. And them showing a release date for that outside of E3 lets me know that they have shit up their sleeve. Sony always has shit up their sleeve, and I think we're gonna see a siphon filter. You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna see somewhere along the lines of a Square Enix game, or maybe a Street Fighter, another Street Fighter expansion, or I don't know. It's just so much. It's so much they can do. But like I said, I hate to get my hopes up because last year I had my hopes up, and we got this. We basically got the same shit we got the year before. It was still epic as fuck, but I mean, Tales of Tsushima is going to be there and all that. But I just think we already know Tales of Tsushima going to be there. We already know Death Stranding going to be there. They're going to have gameplay probably explaining what the fuck you do. We know that what else is Spider-Man might be there and shit like that. Dreams will be there. Probably Dreams to get a release date, something like that. But and VR games. But other than that, I mean, I'm just hoping they surprise us this year. I don't think they're going to show a console. People saying, "Oh, Vita 2 might show up." I've been hearing rumblings about that too, but I don't think they'll show a PS5. I think they usually give PS5. I mean, PlayStation their own conference focused just on PlayStation. That's how they did with the 4 and everything. So hopefully that's what they do. Vita probably be the biggest thing they show up. They show a Vita 2. But other than that, I think Nintendo will probably win the show. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. That was a big. That was. I was definitely wondering whether Sony or even Microsoft will make some kind of announcement or drop some kind of hint about their next generation console coming up. So so switching over to the other side, what's your predictions for the Microsoft E3?
I think they're gonna announce that they're shutting down and that Phil Spencer is now fired. Nah, nah, that'd be nice though. Nah, I think they'll show some remakes. Some of the rumors, maybe the Fable or whatever Playground Games is working on. They'll show a cinematic trailer for that for sure. That'll probably be their main trailer. Their main highlight will be a cinematic trailer for whatever Playground Games is working on. And then they're going to obviously announce more backwards compatible games, probably for the OG Xbox and the 360. They're gonna talk about some controllers, nigga, and some Ori and the Blind Forest to get a gameplay trailer. What else they got up their sleeve? Perfect Dark. I doubt they bring that shit out. It's not the same people. People forget, man. The same people who made Perfect Dark aren't the same people who made Sea of Thieves. So I don't. If they do come out with that, it'll be made by somebody like EA or some shit. I don't know. They're not gonna have the niggas who made Sea of Thieves make Perfect Dark. The gunplay in Sea of Thieves is so horrible. I doubt they can even know how to make a game that complex. But we'll know. We never know. I mean, they don't really have too many studios. Maybe they'll show a Halo 6. Maybe a Halo 6. I know they won't show a Gears, but I'm pretty sure they'll show a Halo 6 a trailer or some shit, probably a cinematic trailer or something like that. But other than that, man, I really don't see them doing much else than what we can't predict. Forza, obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. But it's gonna be another whole every fucking year with them niggas has just been fucking trash. Every year. They either ruined it when it could have been nice or they just made it trash. This is every game. Just fuck. I'm just so down. Every fucking game this generation from them has just been underwhelming, man. Even Halo and Gears, just underwhelming shit. And I don't know. They're gonna bring Perfect Dark and all that shit. Not Perfect Dark. They're gonna bring Fable probably or whatever Playground Games is working on. And probably Splinter Cell remakes. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's like shit like remakes or backwards compatible games that haven't came out and backwards compatible yet, like Splinter Cell and shit like that.
Okay,
is what I think.
I think Microsoft is going to end up going back on their word. I think that this year's E3 is. I think they're going to show a bunch of stuff for the next generation. I think we're going to see a lot of cinematic trailers for games for the next generation. It is rumored that the new Gears of War 5, is supposed to launch with the next console. So if that would be the case, I'm led to believe that we're going to see that we could see some trailers for the next generation, games for the next generation. And I think there may be some kind of announcement for the new console, because if you plan to show all this stuff and it's going to be for the next console, you have to let them know that it is for the next console. Yo, what's up, Sick? What's up, Sick? What's going on with you, brother? So
what's up, Humes?
Yeah. So that's oh, it's all good. So that's what I think is going to happen with Microsoft. So now, do you think that the Xbox 2 or whatever they choose to call this console, do you think it will be Microsoft's last console, win, lose, or draw?
I think honestly, if it comes out, I think it'll be the last console. But I don't think it's gonna come out. I don't think they're gonna come. I really don't think they're gonna come out with another console. I think they're gonna make a deal with Google and bring Xbox games to Google and stream because Google's supposed to be a stream box. I think they're gonna put the first Xbox app that streams on the Google box. You know what I'm saying? And then just let Google make the hardware and they make software. That's what I think. I think that they're gonna be a third party company. I mean, it's only fitting. That's the only way they can make money, and it's the only thing right. I don't care for Halo. I never did. I'm not even on my Xbox I got now. Gears would be nice. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I don't even think that fucking Xbox 2.039.7H is gonna come out because this year they just pulled away so far from the console space that it looks as though that's exactly what they're doing. They're just pulling away from the shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to stream, you want to put. They even said in the statement they're moving away from the Xbox console and bringing more Xbox to everywhere else, not just on consoles. That's third party. Like instantly, that's third party, and they're already halfway third party. They already got Minecraft on every console, and they're going to continue to have Minecraft on every console, every platform, because it makes them a lot of money, and they see where the money is to be in the third party console. Every console they made lost money. The Xbox One lost money. Xbox One X ain't making money, and it's being outsold by PS4. I don't know why you Xbox ain't mentioning that shit, but the PS4 Pro is outselling the Xbox One X. Y'all niggas is quiet as fuck about that shit. But they know that if power didn't save them, having exclusives, because they had some good exclusives in Sunset Overdrive and shit like that didn't save them. Halo sold a record low. Gears sold a record low. Forza is selling a record low. All this shit is selling a record low on a console that has a record low in sales. You know what I'm saying? So, not a record. Well, the base Xbox, the first Xbox had a record low, but that's to be expected for its first console. But still, they lost all kind of money to where I don't see them thinking about the shit. Their whole business is based on streaming now, on the Azure and streaming and in the cloud. That's what they're all based on right now. So they're gonna put Xbox on the cloud and put it in as many places as they can. They're gonna tell you that the Xbox One X is forward and backwards compatible. So they're gonna have a streaming shit so it can be forward compatible no matter what power you put in the system. No matter how powerful the game is, you can always put it on the cloud and it'll run as powerful as that cloud is. So it's gonna be forward compatible. The base Xbox is gonna be forward compatible to the point to where it's gonna be worthless to even buy a new Xbox. Trust me when I say that shit, nigga. Write that shit down, niggas. Nigga, there ain't no lie, nigga. I put that on my mama's third leg, nigga. That this shit right here, nigga, is gonna be like the end of it, my nigga. They just gonna make it. They're gonna make it to where it's an app. They're gonna put the app on the base Xbox, the Xbox S, and the Xbox X. Call them forward and backwards compatible, and bring out games and say these are the next power games that are cloud. The cloud uses 20 teraflops from the Azure cloud system, and they're gonna come up with this whole fucking shit to make shit sound awesome. You know what I'm saying? With burritos and guacamole and all that shit. They're gonna make shit sound awesome as fuck. And they're gonna have gamers paying a subscription to stream games, just like PS Now does. Except Xbox gamers accept everything and act like everything is cool. So they're gonna be like, now the Xbox version is better than the PS Now version, even though y'all hated the fucking lag and all that shit. Oh, it's gonna be better on Xbox. It's just what they do. It's what they've always done. It's why Xbox is in the state that it's in. Its fans are fucked. The people behind it is fucked. And the Xbox as a console is no longer a console to me. It's just a fucking husk of what it used to be.
I definitely agree. And to add on to what you just said, I've said that a while back myself, that I think with them trying to go being a full blown service, I said it before, Microsoft is trying to go after everybody on the planet with Game Pass. If they could, they would sell Game Pass to some aliens. That's how far out they're trying to reach with Game Pass.
Facts.
And with the thing turning into a full blown app, I agree with you. I see no reason to purchase the next iteration of the Xbox when I can easily download the app on my Xbox, and with the power being supplied by the cloud, my graphics through the standard Xbox One will be pretty comparable to whatever the next iteration Xbox is.
Right, exactly. So it all depends on that.
You've expressed your displeasure for the direction that Microsoft is going, with them not attempting to compete, with the lack of exclusives, basically attempting to get reoccurring revenue with Xbox Live. And it had got to the point where you felt like it would probably be better for the gaming industry if Microsoft just left. Do you still feel
Definitely, definitely. They're not doing nothing. I mean, it's to the point to where like, what are you doing? Like, are you calling this competing, nigga? Sea of Thieves, is that competing? Like, is Krakens with nobody? Like, y'all niggas just don't want to make a Kraken body, do just for the sake of awesomeness. Don't want to do that shit. But you call that shit competing, my nigga? Like, you putting your games on PC, that's competing. You know what I'm saying? You blowing up numbers, talking about how many bullets were shot and how many people not wearing deodorant while playing Halo. Is that competing? You know what I'm saying? It's not competing. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much what people say, that's why I say they should just kill this shit off, because it's just taking up space that a more competitive console can suck up. We would be having one of the best generations on this planet right now, ever in history, if the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox were all competing head to head. You know what I'm saying? It's only Nintendo Switch that's competing with the PlayStation as far as games go. We gamers, we shouldn't be caring about shit else but games. At the end of the day, all you care about is games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it runs the same thing with food and with chicks. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck what it look like as long as it tastes good. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the shit taste right. And it's like Microsoft shit doesn't taste right. It looks good. The on paper it's the best, and that's all they went for, was being the best on paper. But when you deliver the games that you're delivering, and your focus is more on making people play online games to push your Xbox Live narrative forward and push your microtransaction money forward, you're losing focus and losing sight on what gaming really is, and that's the experience of experiencing shit that you can't experience in real life. That's the experience of accomplishment. You can't feel accomplished playing fucking Sea of Thieves, my nigga. You just feel like you're just grinding for nothing. There's no end game. Every game needs to have some sort of end game. Even Call of Duty online has an end game. You win a match, you see who at the top of the match, and for that 30 seconds, you feel like you're the best gamer in the world until you go back again and shoot people all over again in that trash ass game. But at least it has some kind of ending. Whereas Sea of Thieves just wants you to grind and grind and grind and grind until you get tired of grinding. There ain't no fucking ending. Even the Kraken is a randomized fucking arm leg thing that you just shoot with cannons and then you just sail on. You know what I'm saying? You get, you don't get shit with your money. You just go and pay this nigga for the next scroll to go to the next fucking treasure to dig it up with the same fucking shovel and shoot the same fucking skeletons. I don't understand. It's a AAA game. This is supposed to be a AAA game that's a first party game that's supposed to be taking advantage of the Xbox One X. And while it does look beautiful, especially in some scenes, it's beautiful, but it tastes nasty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's not competing to me. That's just, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand this bullshit. I can't stand that fucking damage control. I can't stand none of that shit. I can't. Shit.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Do you think Game Pass will succeed?
Nah, it's already a failure. People are already trying to get out of their Game Pass. This shit is already a failure. That's why it's so quiet as fuck right now, man. Sea of Thieves was the make or break game for Games Pass, and it's a break game. You know what I'm saying? It's already going to be a failure. People are not going to hop on that shit to play Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is garbage. People are already trying to, get out of fucking Game Pass just so they make sure they ain't paying $9 for a game they didn't want. It's indies on Games Pass that are better than fucking Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves is the headline game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, that shit is going to be a failure, period. It's just going to be a failure because nobody's going to want to pay $9 a month to play games. I don't want to. I mean, Sony has 500 games for $9 deal right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to play. I don't want to go back and play those games on there. I don't give a fuck. Just give me my motherfucking discs or give me my motherfucking. Let me download that shit or whatever, my nigga. But I'm not going to pay a subscription for something that I don't need to pay a subscription for. People could have traded. People could have played Sea of Thieves, played it for 10 hours, and brought it back to GameStop and got all their money back. You know what I'm saying? Because they give you 7 days to bring a game back or whatever. You can be like, this is the wrong game, get your motherfucking money back. But instead, they stuck with this shit for a month, paying $9. You know, you didn't lost that $9. You could have took that $59 and bought another game. So it's like it's just to me, it's when you start to sit back and think about it, and it's not only $10 for Sea of Thieves, it's really 20 plus because it demands Xbox Live. The shit would not work without Xbox Live. So that's $20 to play one trash ass game. And it's like you just wasting money, and they're just trying to get you to spend money on a game that you wouldn't have spent money on otherwise. And people gonna realize that shit, and that shit gonna fail. Period.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got an uphill battle. You
Yeah,
know,
it
I've
does.
said it before with I think there's a streaming service called Utomic that's coming with over 700 games. You got Steam
Mm-hmm.
over, you have Steam over there. I know Ubisoft is trying to get their gaming service up and going if it's not going yet. And then
Mm-hmm.
if Sony perfects the PlayStation Now, I know that's going to be another competitor in the games as a service business. So
Mm-hmm.
do you think that Microsoft has gotten a message from people expressing their displeasure about the lack of exclusives, games with these cartoon narratives, games with these kiddie games? So do you think that Microsoft will have quality, mature games the next generation?
Um, if they have a next generation, I don't. I think they're gonna go wherever the money takes them, and the money for them is gonna be making games that aren't too demanding or paying third party people to play with more talent to make a better game. The problem with them is they have no talent. Period. They just. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful, but I am being disrespectful because them niggas do not got no fucking talent. That's not the same Rare. They don't got Bungie no more. They don't got Epic no more. They have who else after that? You know what I'm saying? Playground Games is a second party motherfucking niggas, and them niggas is making a game, and that probably be their best mother IP. Other than Halo and Gears, you're not gonna really get shit but racing games and cartoon games because that's all the fuck they can really do with the talent that they have on hand. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Playground Games still has a uphill battle for their game because yes, Forza Horizon is a beautiful game and it's fun, but it doesn't take much compute power or much thought to make wheels spin on a fucking rectangle, my nigga, and roll around in brushes and bushes and shit. Like the reason why Horizon was so good was because it didn't take much for Guerrilla Games to actually make Horizon. They knew how to tell a story, even though that shit was boring. And to be honest, Horizon's story wasn't all that either, my nigga. It was good, but it wasn't like, damn, I feel like crying. It wasn't like, watching Joel's daughter die. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no scenes like that that really touch you like Naughty Dog can. But they already knew how to do beautiful graphics. They already knew how to do open world graphics. They already knew how to do a combat system and with guns and weapons and enemies and how enemies animate and all that shit. You know, so they already had all that shit down to where Playground Games don't have animated on-screen fighters and they don't have combat systems and storytelling and all that shit that it takes. You need a lot of talent to make a game like that. And I mean, like I said, Playground Games make beautiful games, but I mean, you don't make a game with clunky ass animations or with a fucked up ass battle system that's unbalanced or it's all many. They got a very, very large uphill battle to go because they're doing something that they just really cannot do. That's the reason why Polyphony ain't coming out with no goddamn action RPG when they get shit because they just don't have the people to do so. They don't have the talent to do so. They're talented at making a racing game, not making a online multiplayer RPG or whatever the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, with I lost my train of thought with Microsoft. I was going to say something about them. Um, oh, that's what I was going to say. Microsoft, I believe, um, doesn't take chances. They don't want to be creative. I believe that they see the success that everybody else has, and then they put out their own iteration of that. They they canceled Fable, and then with the success of Horizon Zero Dawn. Now all of a sudden they're going to bring it back. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what kind of games Microsoft has for the next generation, I think they're taking a look at what's happening with Sony, and I think they're going to try to replicate that formula.
They might. They looking at Nintendo too. That's why the Connect exists, because they watching Nintendo and how big Nintendo is. Nintendo is the fastest selling console ever, so people are paying attention to that shit too. And they come out with cartoon games, but the problem with that is that these motherfuckers is way more innovative. Nintendo was the godfathers of gaming. They know what the fuck they're doing. They know that power don't matter to really the gamers. They know that fun ass games played in fun ass ways are what sells consoles. And they have the games that are legendary. There's no stopping these games. There's no stopping a Zelda. There's no stopping a Mario. There's no stopping a Metroid, and so on. They have games that there is nothing you can do about them. And Microsoft is watching that shit too, and they want to make Halo like that, but there's now so many first-party games that it's just sucked up. How many games are like Zelda out there? How many games are like Metroid out there? You know what I'm saying? Like to where Metroid, people use games like Metroid to describe how their game plays. People don't use Halo to describe how their games play. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for PlayStation too. PlayStation has very few games. You can say Uncharted, but then you can say Tomb Raider. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's Sony. Sony has their talent. Nintendo has their talent, but Microsoft, they can look and try to replicate all they want, but they're not putting the money in the right places. You gotta build your studios up, and you gotta get talent, and you gotta grab and keep talent, and not micromanage artists. And then they maybe will be able to come out with some bomb shit. Maybe.
Okay. Through your videos, you've made no bones about what kind of company you think Microsoft is. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how shady of a company do you think Microsoft is, with them, with 1 being a good company and 10 being a very shady company? How would you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10?
They're a 10 for sure. And that goes outside of gaming. Like that's how they became what they are. They've copied and they bought out every company in order to drain out the market to get them the upper hand. I mean, just think about it. They copied Apple, right? Apple is this well-known shit that Apple basically had a program like Windows. Microsoft copied it and came out with it first, and then they patented it or whatever, and they did that shit. Apple comes out with iPad, they come out with the Zoom. That shit failed. They did because the iPod already destroyed everything. They come out with an iPhone, they try to come out with Windows phones. They start failing. So they buy Nokia to try to kind of drain the competition, throw Nokia into the ground, and come out with their own shit. And that shit still failed to the point to where now they're just trying to put Windows apps on Apple. They saw PS2 destroying shit. They saw like sick humor need to hurry come out with that video about what he was saying about how Microsoft and Dreamcast connection. And I ain't even gonna get into that because that's that nigga shit right there. And that nigga need to come out with a video of that shit. But basically, they copied Dreamcast. They copied Nintendo. I mean, they copied Dreamcast, and they saw the success of the PS2 to where they saw money involved, so they wanted a slice of that pie. You know what I'm saying? Everything Microsoft did, you can look at Bing. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Bing versus Google. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that. Everything that Microsoft has done, they've copied. You know what I'm saying? They've copied off something else. The only thing I could say that Microsoft did for gaming that was positive and good was achievements. That was a good idea, and it made gaming funner because you can achieve different things, and it makes you play games more. You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to play longer and play harder in order to get an achievement. I think that's great for gaming, but that is like the only thing they fucking did. You know what I'm saying? And they just too shady now. They lied too much. Like that video I put out, where I didn't say nothing. I just played a trailer and then put over the truth over the lies. And you can just see how much they lied about shit. And, Xbox niggas is attacking me over that shit still. I'm still getting fucking comments on that shit. Like right now, nigga daily. Like I promise you, I'm getting like 50 comments a day just on that video alone. I done put out 2 videos after that. But that's just how insecure people are when it comes to them niggas. But they're so shady that they actually have these people thinking that it's okay. They have these people, the way they work on Twitter and have people fanboying, these fucking executives fanboying and trying to make, trying to sneak diss everybody else which is all fun and games until you realize that they're not really backing up their words. They're not really giving us nothing. They're just giving an entertainment and outrage culture to
Mm-hmm.
where it's hurting, to where it's hurting gaming. And I give them a 10, I give them fuckers 11 because the way that company was built, it was built from just other people's successes, other people's ideas, and then they throw their own ideas in it and ruin it. Even worse, Windows is trash now. Nobody can tell. People want to uninstall Windows 10. You know what I'm saying? And go back to Windows 7 some fucking where because it's so fucking garbage because they gradually get garbager and garbager. Yes, I made that shit up right now at 6:14 April 5th. Garbager is a new word, nigga, but it's a true word. You understood what the fuck I said when I said it. It's a real word. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But yeah, nah, I give them niggas an 11, man. No lie.
No doubt. Sick is still in the humor. He's still in the comment section. So I assume that he heard you about, that he need to hurry up and
Yeah,
get that video
he
out
need, he
there.
need to make that video. He needs
Yeah,
to make that
no,
video. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm not gonna make that video. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect, because that's a bomb ass topic, man. And he really need to make that fucking video, bro. Real talk.
yeah. So come on with that video, Sick.
Can't wait.
So you spoke about the toxic, the fanboys and how you've been getting attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
while we're on the subject of the toxic fanboys, how do you think they will react as the release of God of War draws closer?
Oh, I mean, look how they reacting now. I mean, look how they reacting to Spider-Man. Look how they reacting to. Look, they don't have much to do. You know what I'm saying? Sea of Thieves was an afterthought as soon as Far Cry came out the next week. You know what I'm saying? And now Far Cry is a fucking afterthought. You know what I'm saying? It's like because they just move on to the next thing. Like right now on Twitter, I seen the homie Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King's Blood Gaming and shout out to Broadband Bullies. But I seen these niggas. You know, Live Wires was on there and all that shit. These niggas talking about Spider-Man being 30 frames a second. And they all like, oh, I thought it was 60 frames with Live Wire say, oh, I thought it was 60 frames and outrage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, y'all niggas know damn nigga, we known that it was 30 frames per second. This shit was announced during the gameplay trailer, and I linked them motherfuckers to goddamn articles showing that they said it was 30 frames per second. It's like they're reaching so much, you know what I'm saying, in order to make PlayStation look bad that they make themselves look bad. They're to the point now to where all they can do is reach and all they can do is try to make something up to damage the reputation of the game. But they forget Sony done already told them niggas, no, it's 30 frames per second, and it's still one of the best games you ever seen on a goddamn console in your motherfucking life. Plus it's Spider-Man. I even got niggas mad. They mad in my comment section saying that oh, Sony's a piece of shit because they took a third-party game like Spider-Man and put it on PlayStation. I'm like, nigga, do you know Spider-Man ain't a third-party game, you stupid ass? It's a goddamn superhero owned by Marvel. Marvel don't make games. They pay people to make games for them, nigga. Stupid ass. Nigga, that's just a name. Nigga, that's what it is. Stupid. So Spider-Man is owned by PlayStation. You weird ass niggas. Do you understand? Do you understand the hypocrisy going on? Yes, Sony can do this. They own Spider-Man, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not even owned by Marvel no more. Y'all niggas don't know? Now you know, nigga. Like Marvel sold they shit off. That's why it was hard for Spider-Man to get on the Avengers. My nigga, them niggas had to do a deal. That's why the X-Men hasn't been on any Avengers because Fox owned them. And since Disney just now bought them, now you might see that shit. That's why people are saying this shit. Spider-Man is owned by Sony. It would never be on the Xbox ever. Why would it? Nigga, Sony didn't take that. They own that. It's a difference. Microsoft took Tomb Raider. They don't own Tomb Raider. That's why it came out a year later. So that's why Crash Bandicoot is coming out for the Xbox One and the Switch, because Sony doesn't own that. No matter what you thought, they don't own it. You dumbass niggas.
Right.
Damn.
You kind of answered my next question, but I'll go ahead and ask it again anyway. How much negative comments do you get on your videos?
I mean, normally I don't, to be honest, man. Like this is just this video right here. I mean, I even put out skits talking shit about, like the Phil Spencer skit and the Shuhei Yoshida skits. And, I would get a few haters, you know what I'm saying? But this shit, that one video I made, man, them motherfuckers, I hurt feelings and I didn't even say a word. I mean, I don't mind. Like I don't even feel like I'm being attacked. It's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? Because all I do is ask them, where did I lie at? Where did I go wrong? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? People telling, oh, but it's 4K and 4K. I'm like, okay, what they got to do with the video? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does this have to do with the video? Oh, the PS4 Pro was trash, and you shouldn't be comparing them. I'm like, nigga, I never brought up the PS4 like at all. Like they talked, not me, and they didn't bring up the PS4. So like it's not really attack. It's more like that's when you know you hit them hard, when you hit them with facts that they can't refute. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like they just mad at me right now, and they're gonna stay mad at me because I came at them with something they don't have no answers for.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to come at them and say, "Oh, Far Cry looks better on the PS4. I don't care if it's not 4K. I can't tell the difference." They want me to say shit like that, but I don't say shit like that, my nigga. Like 4K, Far Cry looks better on the Xbox One X. I never denied the power of the Xbox One X. I'm not stupid. I know that it's more powerful. You don't need to, tell me that. I know. So I don't ever say shit like the Pro is more powerful. The only time I bring up something is when the Pro has a game running better than the Xbox One X. I'll make a video about it because that shouldn't be happening. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be happening. The Xbox having better looking games should be happening. So why make a fucking video over this shit? You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the PS4. I never made a video about the PS4 having a better looking game than the Xbox One because the PS4 should have a better looking game than the PS1, seeing that it had more power than it. The price was the motherfucking issue. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, all they can do is talk shit to me, but they really can't back up the shit they're talking because I didn't lie. And you can't, fight the truth without changing the subject. You know what I'm saying? You got to change the subject in order to have an argument. And I just all I got to do is keep them on subject and I'm fine. Shit.
Without a doubt. When the Xbox One X launched, from the stuff that I was seeing when Digital Foundry was, being unbiased, it seemed to me that the closer the games came to 2160p, the more the performance was compromised when we seeing frame drops and screen tearings and stuff like that. And then going back to the heat that you have taken for your video, I was kind of surprised by that because this is the same message that you've been trying to get across for the last couple of years.
Exactly.
And so, so this video comes out and everybody crying and acting like you said something horrible about Jesus Christ. So
yeah, I'm saying. I guess I did about their Jesus Christ. I guess. I mean, it's like cultist culture, bro. Like they act like they're from a cult or something. It's just like you say something bad about them, and they gotta say something bad about me. I didn't even say nothing bad. All I did was point out. They said a Trader article of people asking where's VR, and people mad at me. Oh, you're lying. Okay, nigga, where VR at? You know what I'm saying? Like they said uncompromised, and I'm like, I'm compromised, and they say, oh, I'm like, cuz, what does uncompromised mean? Like you can't just make it mean, oh, this game isn't compromised, but this no. Uncompromised is uncompromised. Exclusive. You don't sit there and say, oh, Windows exclusive. I mean, a Windows game and an Xbox game is an exclusive. It's not. You can't call Sea of Thieves an exclusive. You can't call Killer Instinct an exclusive, especially Killer Instinct. It's on Steam, so it's like on a whole nother fucking thing. It's like they in order for them to fight, they have to continue to bend the truth, and I don't understand why they can't see that if you have to bend the truth for $1 billion corporation in order to fight for that corporation, you may not be on the winning side of this entire thing. That corporation is winning because you niggas is doing this shit for free and y'all paying them for it. But y'all niggas is losing because you're getting nothing out of it, and you have to lie in order to make yourself feel better. Instead of being a gamer and a customer, you're becoming a cultist nigga who's protecting $1 billion company for free. Dumb shit.
No doubt. And I want to respond to Vidiot in the comment section. He said it's not about the message to most people, it's the delivery. So he's referring to your video that had
my video.
Yeah, about that they got all the Xbox butt hurt. But the thing about it,
what delivery? Hold on. what did I do wrong in the delivery? Like, I didn't say Xbox was garbage. I didn't put up no font saying the Xbox is trash. The only thing I delivered was everything that they put out. They said I didn't change the alter the voices. I didn't put like a mustache on Shannon Loftus's face, even though it would have fit perfectly because she's a manly looking bitch. But I didn't do nothing wrong. The only thing I did was have them talk over the things that they said. When she said, no, the Xbox, we don't want no boundaries. Okay, then I put up, okay, then how come free to play it has a boundary in front of it to where it's paid you have to pay to play free to play games. Like that's a boundary, like it or not. So it's like, what did I do wrong? What delivery did I do? I said I was going to point out the lies that Microsoft said, and I did. With them talking, without me talking, there's no way I delivered something wrong. And you know what I'm saying? Unless you're talking about that chicken. I mean, the chicken at the end was probably kind of trolling, but the chicken was a monster, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're going to say something's a monster, might as well be that fucking chicken. You know what I'm saying? And I know I added PlayStation games at the end of that shit, but the reason why I did that shit, because I wanted to let y'all hear all the bullshit they said about how much teraflops this and this many compute powers and all that good shit. And then all that talking and all this shit about those specs did not equal something better than those games that I posted. You know what I'm saying? That was just me saying you can have all this power you want. If you don't invest in getting the talent to utilize the power, you will never compete with this. That's what that meant. It wasn't really like a troll, and it seemed like it, but I always have a message in my shit. And that message was, and I'm breaking the secret of my messages, but that message was that you can have it in them last 3 minutes, and none of that was better than any of this. And I want it to be better. I wish it was to be better. When I saw that trailer, I was hoping they were going to have something better. But at the end of the day, they didn't have nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? So take it for what it is. It's not the delivery at all. It's more the delivery of the Microsoft company that you should be worried about, and not the delivery of King Thrash Sexy Man Gaming. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
I agree totally. And yeah, video, you might be right. The way, that particular video, the way he delivered the message had him butthurt. But I'm still shocked that they were butthurt because he's made, more than one video similar to this one. He did one before where some music was just playing. Yes. So I don't know I don't know what it was about this video that they pried their cheeks open to the point they had him crying. I'm still trying to figure that out. But so
they used to having their cheeks open, man. Shit. They was used to that shit, man.
Right?
Because the point about is to try to get people away from that shit, man. It's trying to bring back the community. That's why I fuck with Video, because Video always gonna say what he gonna say. But I fucks with Video because he's a part of the community. He's not like an Xbox, to death guy. You know what I'm saying? He plays Xbox, he prefers Xbox, but he's not going to sit there and bend his back over to protect it. And I mean, that's what gamers are supposed to be. We're supposed to be a community of niggas who all enjoy games no matter what the system is. It's just that we can't let these companies gain control of our control. And that's what Microsoft is trying to do. That's what all of these companies would try to do. If you gave them that control, they would take it. I mean, Sony tried to do it with the PS3. They thought they had control of us, and then everybody had outrage. Microsoft tried to control the PC element, and they lost full control of PC. Them niggas had a monopoly on PC. You know what I'm saying? Before Steam came out. And the PC guys wasn't having that shit. Steam saw the advantage and shit, and they went and they took advantage and monopolized the game. That's how much it's because they tried to take control of them. And with this whole digital narrative, they try to take control of gamers, period. And it's just gamers are letting them do it. That's what's so crazy. That's why I had to make this fucking channel. I see channels who are sometimey and shit who will say one thing and say another, and then when something flips over, they want to protect that. And it's like, no, you got to be able to criticize on both sides. If you don't criticize on both sides, then you're being less of a customer. You're being less of what a gamer is. I believe gamers are the smartest customers on the planet because we know everything we know the motherfucking interns' names and shit. You know, motherfuckers who done made some shit who done thought they did. We know if how many maids Phil Spencer got in his house and shit. We know Phil Spencer's name. Nigga, who the owner of Taco Bell? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody knows who the name of the owner of Taco Bell is. You know what I'm saying? Like who's the owner of Dell or who's the owner of Tide Pods and shit? Like who invented that? Like, we don't know. But when it comes to gaming, we know the game goes gold. Yeah, if it got delayed, we know, you know what I'm saying, what type of game is it? We know what kind of shit, what direction is going. We know what people are starring in the voices and all that fucking shit. Like, nigga, who was the lead role in Coco, that Mexican movie? Niggas don't know shit. But when it comes to gaming, we know all types of shit, man. We study this shit. We know how we talk about teraflops and shit. Teraflops, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about shit that people don't talk about in their products, man. We got to remember that we customers, but we're smart customers, and they know we're smart customers. That's why Microsoft has. I seen a chart. I really want to make a video about how much Microsoft knows. They know. I seen a chart. Phil Spencer is nigga pointing at that shit with a laser pointer or some shit, and it shows like what type of gamers that they have. And they said that we're smart gamers, but they said that we're impatient. It said like all type of shit to take advantage of, like how they can take advantage of all of the way we are. So that's why they go on Twitter and they say shit on Twitter to throw shit out there because they know that we're knowledgeable. So if we hear information, we're gonna suck it up because we believe everything that they say. For some reason, we believe that everything that these developers say until the game comes out and it's proven otherwise. If we didn't, if they told the truth all the time, Digital Foundry wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have Digital Foundry. We wouldn't need Digital Foundry because them niggas be telling the truth already. This game is 4K. This game is dynamic 4K. This game is this is that. This is that. They don't do that shit. They tell us what we want to hear, not what we gotta hear, or we don't even gotta hear from Digital Foundry to be honest. But they tell you what you want to hear. Shu does the same thing. He just does it to a Japanese crowd and shit more than anything. But it's like we're just too smart for our own good, and to where the point where now we're just being dumb because now we're overprotective. Now we're competing with each other when it's supposed to be the companies competing, not us. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. These companies are supposed to be competing. I say Xbox should be dead. People come at me and say, well, no, Xbox should stay alive because PlayStation needs competition. But who's really competing? PS fanboys and Xbox fanboys, or Xbox and PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look from what I'm seeing, it's the fanboy versus the fanboys that are competing more than these companies are. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, and I do think that at times the Sony and Microsoft does take advantage of that to push their brand.
Definitely. Even Sony does it a little. They does it a little sometimes and shit. They'll throw some shit in there, my nigga, but they'll do it more flashy. You know what I'm saying? They'll be at E3 and have, you know what I'm saying, God of War get announced with fucking sand and shit. And fucking whole ass bands and shit and fucking orchestras and shit. They do that shit flashy as fuck. You know that shit is sexy as fuck. But Sony does shit to kind of troll too, like when the Xbox One Xbox One first came out and they did that 1 minute video of them trading the game. Like, this is how you do it. And he just hands in the game and smiles at the camera. That's trolling 101, my nigga. Like, that's the most, but that's what you gotta do to be slick with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, you gotta hit them hard. If you go hit them, it's just Microsoft lies with their shit. There was nothing false about the way that video that PS4 made. There's plenty false about Microsoft going and saying that we can't take the connect, we can't just flip a switch and take the connect out. The connect and the Xbox is one thing. They won't work. One won't work without the other. They said that shit, and that's a total lie. And it was proven when they actually flipped the fucking switch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Microsoft has lied and been caught in plenty of lies, and I can't see why people still trust them because they're still lying.
Right.
So it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
You know, and real quick before I go on to the next question, about the 1 minute video of them, handing the game to each other. I myself, I don't really feel like that was a video to fuel the console war. I think Sony seized it because they knew Microsoft had pissed off the user base with this DRM stuff.
But to fight that though, they put it on YouTube. Think about it. Who's watching YouTube?
Yeah, good point.
They put that bitch on YouTube. They didn't make a commercial saying you could trade our games without DRM and put this big old thing up on the banner for everybody to see, like at Target. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can trade your games or whatever at Target and no shit. Nah, them niggas put that shit on YouTube, and most hardcore gamers are getting their information on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a point, but I'm saying the reason why I see it is because where the way they did it, the way they put it on YouTube is like it was like them niggas was really going hard. You know what I'm saying? Going hard. And it had to be last minute because you know what I'm saying? They had to make that shit like last minute. When they found out that you can't trade no fucking games, them niggas hurried up and came up with this is a corporation who runs TVs and all that shit. These niggas got time to make a YouTube video.
Yeah, I mean it came out right
shit.
after everybody.
Right there.
So it's
yes,
like it almost it almost looked like they quick ran into a restaurant bathroom and filmed that video. It happened so fast. You know?
And they didn't and you know it was hurried up and done because they didn't pay no actor. They could have made it all bomb and shit. Like, you know, they could have made some crazy shit like how you trade a game or whatever. Nah, they got two of the bosses that people will be that gamers like us. Nigga, what casual gonna know who shoot and what's that other white boy, that fat nigga? I forgot his name. I don't even know his name. But
you talking about for Sony?
Yeah, in that commercial when they did that little in that YouTube video where they did that little this is how you trade games.
Yeah, I barely
only gamers
that.
Yeah, only gamers are gonna recognize those people. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise you just like who like casuals like who's this old Asian guy handing the game to a young why is this old man handing the game to this young fat white boy? You know? Like what's going on? Like so it's like it was made that video. If you think about it, that video was made for us because we was gonna recognize immediately who those people were.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to look at we didn't have to see a sign that said PlayStation on it. We saw those two people. We knew it was PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we the hardcore ones, and that's who they went after. They went after the niggas like that, man. I'm telling you, man.
So
otherwise, they could have got Crash Bandicoot to do the shit or something.
Right. That's true. So my next question is probably going to trigger some people, but because you know where direction we're headed in. It's a simple question. Are you going to give State of Decay 2 a try? Are you going to try to play it?
I would play State of Decay more than I would play Sea of Thieves. Be honest, I think, and I've been on record to saying this shit before. I think State of Decay is going to be the Xbox best game this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's an indie game, and I like indies. Don't get me wrong. Hellblade is one of my favorite games of last year. You know what I'm saying? It was up there with one of my game of the years. You know what I'm saying? So indie, it doesn't matter as long as it's good. I'm not really into that kind of zombie game. You know what I'm saying? To where I don't know. It just doesn't look like it's my style of game. You know, online multiplayer. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather do that shit alone, my nigga. To be honest, it's more of an atmosphere. You can build on atmosphere when you're doing it alone. You feel safe at all times if you got friends with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, but I know just like I know I hate Minecraft, but I know how great of a game that is. I think that State of Decay will be a great game. Not as successful as Minecraft by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it will be a better game and it will rate better than Sea of Thieves and Crackdown combined. So I think it'll be a good game. I know a lot of people who want to play. That nigga sick want to play that shit. So I mean, I might pick it up. I mean, it'll be on. I don't gotta pick shit up anymore. That's the problem. Like Microsoft not making money. Microsoft is not making money with this Games Pass shit because it's like it's gonna be on Games Pass day one. I still have my 14-day shit, and plus I'm game sharing with the homie, so I don't even gotta pay money for the shit. You know what I'm saying? I can go and play it. You know what I'm saying, and check it out if I want to, and I might. But ain't this shit coming out at the same time God of War is coming out? No, Detroit. So I might not. I'm gonna be that shit come out the same month as Detroit. So I'm gonna still likely be on God of War and Detroit. I mean, this is just gonna be another game getting ate up by a bigger and better game.
Yeah, let me respond to Diver real quick. Yes, Diver. I am asking a motherfucker that plays Battlefield, does he plan on giving State of Decay a try? Myself, State of Decay does not look appealing to me. I have given the philosophy before. I gave the philosophy before about Sea of Thieves. I likened it to a situation where you go over to a friend's house that invited you over to dinner, and you smell and there's some food that smells like raw sewage, are you going to eat it? And that's
Exactly.
the way Sea of Thieves appeared to me. Sea of Thieves appeared to be that food that smells like sewage. I'm not going to try it. State of Decay, on the other hand, it doesn't look delicious, but it doesn't look like it's going to make me vomit either. So I'm going to be willing to give it a try, but I'm not going to pay for it. I will go to my local video store and I will rent it.
At the same time, it does look like Gabash. I've made comparisons with it before. Compared it to Days Gone, and I compared it because they're both zombie games. And in comparison, it looks like Gabash. But in its defense, it's going to be 4K. it's going to be running on a 6 teraflops of powerfulness. You know what I'm saying? And that's where gamers need to, things on paper don't equal things in your hand. You're a gamer, not a developer. You're supposed to be enjoying games, not the potential of a game, my nigga. Mm-hmm. It's just insane. Like, people are happy over the 6 teraflops, and I keep telling niggas that power has never won a generation in gaming history, and I don't think it ever will, because it depends on the talent behind it. Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. It just is what it is, man.
Now, before I go on to my next question, I'm gonna respond to Vidya. He said, "I think what bothers me the most is that people trash games before playing them. It's just part of gaming, Vid. You just heard me say it. If a food smells like sewage to me, I'm not eating it. Sea of Thieves never looked appetizing to me, and you have that going on more than ever on the Xbox side. They're saying so much stuff about the Sony games. I heard they lost their mind when we got a date about Spider-Man. They saw that reveal trailer. They saw that gameplay trailer of God of War right around the time the Sea of Thieves was supposed to release, and that had them turned upside down. But but hey, they always saying shit about the Sony games and they haven't tried them yet. That's their prerogative. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I mean, but like I told you before, Vidya, because me and Vidya had a word about this before. You can see gameplay and know whether or not you like it or not, because that's the only way they can deliver it to you. But if gameplay looks good and it attracts you, then you play it and it becomes unattractive. Similar to Sea of Thieves, you get to see the different perspectives that people can have on gaming. It can only be done by what you see. Those developers like No Man's Sky, who said all these lies about the game and say, you can do this and you can do that, and then when you get the game you can't do it. That's telling you that you got to pay $60 to play a game that you don't know whether or not you like or not. And that's not how it works. You don't buy something that you don't like. And visuals is everything, nigga. You go to the store, nigga, and you buy an apple or a watermelon. Yeah, I said watermelon because I'm black, but if you get a watermelon and you see an ugly watermelon over a pretty watermelon, the ugly watermelon might taste better, but from the look of it, you're going to pick the pretty watermelon because that's what's more attractive. You don't know what's inside the watermelon yet, but you're going to pick the one that's more appealing to you visually. That's with everything. Movie trailers. People said that Black Panther was going to be garbage. Hell, I even thought Black Panther was going to be wasn't going to be as good as it was, simply because black movies always get the lower end of production. But this movie was a high production movie, and they respected everything about it, and it came out to be bomb. You can look at something and see and have a different opinion on the shit, but that's how you get an opinion, is by looking at it. You know what I'm saying? You can't play something that you just can't play something without getting it. You can't watch a movie without knowing. You got to go take that shit, but you got to make that judgment whether or not you're going to watch it or to even take a chance on it. Everybody doesn't buy a game that looks like a 10 out of a 10 game. They buy a game that's more attractive to them. That's why people bought PUBG. People saw gameplay of PUBG. Hell, even played it and still bought the fucking shit for $29.99 for the Xbox, even though they knew it was gabash, that it played gabash, but still people bought it because it appealed to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just appealing. It depends on what appeals to you.
No, to get back to Diver, he says, if you look at gameplay and that's the way you buy games because of gameplay, to me, you're not a gamer, not a follower. No, you're a person.
No.
who is deciding whether you want to. You are a person who is deciding whether you want to try a game or not based on how it looks to you. To me, gaming is no different than dating a woman. The physical attraction is not everything, but it is the first thing. It is the first thing. It helps.
I mean, it's only and yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how women look at us, and that's how we look at women. Like, it's all about that first visual. Nigga, if I walk up to a girl and I ain't got but one tooth and that motherfucker black and my nostril is inside out of some shit, she may well not talk to my fucking ass. The same thing with games. You can't tell me that I'm not a gamer for looking at a game and seeing if I want it or not, my nigga. How do you know that you want the God of War PlayStation that you buying, my nigga? Because you saw it and it looked nice, and so you're gonna buy it, my nigga. So it's like that's just how it works. That's the basics of how shit works. You look at something and you judge whether or not you're gonna buy it. It's not our job to sell the game to us. It's the company's job. So it matters how well they market the item at hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you deliver it to me in a bad way, it's plenty of games that were marketed so bad but came out so good because they just didn't show what the game was. Halo was an example of that. Halo, that story, we thought we was going to be Master Chief versus you. You know what I'm saying? And there was going to be this big ass climatic fight between you and Master Chief, which would have been awesome as fuck. So because they could have showed off how badass Master Chief is, but instead Master Chief just socks your ass and you give him a hug and say sorry. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's about view. If you look at it, you might get something, but it's all about how they deliver what they want. Whether either they're gonna lie to you or they're not. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only way they do that, because that's the only way you can judge whether or not you're gonna buy a game or not. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, nigga. Come on, Diver. You know better than this.
Right.
There ain't no other way. There ain't no other way to fucking check. How else you gonna fucking see a game, or how else you gonna want a game if you don't look at it? Like, that's like going in blind. Like, I'm gonna just blindly buy this game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna respond to him one more time, and then I'm gonna move on to the next question. But Diver right here saying, so you buy a car by the way it looks. Yes. I am.
Yeah, nigga.
The look of a car. Yes, the look of a car is what's going to draw me in. I see the way the car looks. It is the car's curves. It is the car's color. It is the car's interior. Those are all visual. That's going to draw me in to take a look at the car. Now, if you want to put it that way, Diver, if I got a Corvette sitting in front of me and then there's a cement truck next to me, and the dealer is trying to sell me the cement truck and tells me that it's way better than that Corvette, I highly doubt you're going to buy that cement truck.
Yeah, I'm going with the Corvette.
The Corvette looks sexy. When something is sexy, it has to be visually attractive first.
Yeah, you got to have all the information you can on what you want to buy. And visual is one of the most important pieces of information that you can get. You can tell by the gameplay of God of War that that's what the fuck you're gonna be doing, and therefore I'm gonna do it. Right. I knew from watching Sea of Thieves that they didn't really do much but walk around and sail, nigga, and dig up treasures and shit. That I knew it wasn't gonna be my stilo. You know what I'm saying? And it was the right fucking call.
Yeah, I mean, like y'all kind of acting like Xbox right now because, like, you know,
now they fucking with it. They let them. They fucking with it. They know how they do.
Oh yeah,
that's what they do. That's my niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. It wouldn't be a podcast. It wouldn't be a discussion if they didn't come in here and give their own opinion. So go ahead, run your opinions. But to respond to Vidiot one more time, he said, but you don't look at how it runs. I mean, y'all missing my whole point.
Yes,
like when I go to buy a car, I'm going to test drive the car. Yes, I'm going to look under the hood. Yes, I'm going to kick the tires. Yes, I'm going to pull that dipstick out and see what color the oil is. But the car has to visually attract me to it first.
You're not going to test drive a bucket, is you? How many niggas, raise your hand, and how many niggas test driving buckets?
So, I mean, based on what y'all telling me, if you go to a dealership and the dealership says, I'm going to pick out the car that is the best running car that we have on our lot, and he takes you to a damn cement truck. I doubt you're going to say, okay, I'll take it. I doubt you're going to say, I'll take it. You're going to want to see something that looks a little more appealing.
And then if it's too cheap, if he say this Corvette is $9 if he say it's $9.99 a month, you're gonna be like, well, what's wrong with the Corvette?
That
Motherfucker.
yeah, that's exactly what I thought of Game Pass because I said,
It's like, what's wrong with it? What's the catch?
Somewhere there's gonna be a catch.
Yeah, what's the catch? Yes.
So, so when's the last time you played a game on your Xbox?
PUBG with Diver. Is that no? That's inaccurate. That is inaccurate. No, I played Bayonetta before I got it on the Switch. I was like, oh, let me play Bayonetta and get ready. You know what I'm saying, for my Switch game. Because I think that's the last time. Is that the last time? That's the last time I played it. Yeah, I played Bayonetta last. On Games Pass. For free. From the homie. I played a little Sea of Thieves. Hold on. I think I played a little. No, I did not on my Xbox. That's the last game I played on an Xbox was Sea of Thieves. But I played it on the homies and shit, on my roommates and shit. That nigga got Xbox One X, so I tried it out on there.
Okay.
And got immediately bored. Nah, but go ahead.
I played Battlefield. I played Battlefield 1 on my Xbox a couple of weeks ago, and I could have easily played it on my PS4 Pro, but it was one of those moments. My Xbox is in my bedroom, my PS4 Pro is out in the living room. It was one of those moments. I was in the bedroom, I was about to take a nap, and I was like, "Yeah, let me play something for a second." And I played it. But before that, I mean, as far in terms of Microsoft exclusives, the last Microsoft exclusive that I played was Gears of War 4 when it first came out.
Same here.
So
same here. I think I played Forza Horizon 3 last. That was the last one I played. Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, my bad. I just lied. I did play Forza 7 when it first came out because I forgot a friend he sent me the money to actually he picked the game up for me, but I turned around and paid him back. He gave it to me as a gift, but I insisted on paying him back because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the game, and I would have felt bad that he wasted his money if I ended up not playing it.
Right.
So another question here. There's been a lot of talk about the Nintendo Switch. They're up to 15 million now, I believe. And there's been a lot of
more than that.
Okay. There's been a lot of speculation on when Nintendo will catch Microsoft. How long do you think it'll take Nintendo to catch Microsoft?
Okay, well, I'm gonna look at it like this. Microsoft we know is under 40 million, right?
Yeah.
We won't never have the real numbers. We know it's under 40 million. Last I heard it was at about 35. They did 15 million in less than a year. I think right now they're almost at 20. I think they'll catch them by this time next year. I think that's when they're gonna catch them. After what's coming out this year? Smash Brothers come out. Pokemon rumored to come out, man. I had got a link, but upon further investigation, I'm like, why would Nintendo launch a trailer for this shit on YouTube? Like, it don't make sense when they got Nintendo Direct. So I was like, no, grain of salt with that shit. But we'll definitely know more about Pokemon. We'll know more about Metroid if it didn't come out by then within the next year. Because they've been dropping games without even like giving us anticipation. Like Super Smash Brothers announcement was just out of the blue. Like nobody thought that shit was coming out until like next year maybe. But that shit coming out, so he got this different shit coming out, and it's just attractive as fuck. It's just an attractive fucking console. I got to give my girl that shit for her birthday. Like even my girl, she's not even a gamer, nigga. She just want to play Mario. It's just selling itself. So I think it's gonna sell. I think it's gonna pass it within the next year. I really do. I think it's in 2019. 2019. It'll in February. What is this? March? April already? April 2019, they will have passed Microsoft already.
I'm thinking they probably won't catch him until late fall of 2019. Because when you break down the numbers, let's say Nintendo is sitting on 16 million, right? And just to give Microsoft a little bit of a leeway, let's say they're sitting on 39, even 40 million. We still talking 24 million. There are those that think that Nintendo could catch them this year. And I'm like, that's crazy because Nintendo would have to sell 24 million units the remainder of this year, and Microsoft would have to sell virtually zero in order for them to catch them this year. Nintendo would have to have a monster year, and Microsoft would have to fall flat on its face for the remainder of 2018 in order for that to happen. So I thought, for those who think it was going to happen this year, I really thought that was realistic. I think next year, I think next fall would be a good time that they'll probably catch them.
For them to come out. Oh shit! Is this shit tripping again?
Right. Let me see here.
Hold on. Let me add something to that real quick. One thing.
Yep.
One thing you got to factor in is what game for Xbox is coming out by the time 2019.
I mean,
I think that's going.
No, you actually answered my question with a question, because I was going to ask you what do you think the roadmap is going to be for the remainder of 2018 to 2019 for Microsoft? And so
yeah, I think that that's why I was saying that. That's why I was saying that Nintendo might get them sooner than later because they don't have nothing in forecast. They don't have nothing. I mean, literally, E3 last year was supposed to be the E3 that we knew was coming out in 2019. You know what I'm saying? But they showed nothing but indies that are like that nobody can tell me the names of right now. You know what I'm saying? These were forgettable games, and then all the ones that could be remembered are games that are third-party games are going to be on other consoles. So with Sony coming out with their shit that they got coming out, The Last of Us, Death Stranding, fucking that zombie game. I can't keep forgetting the goddamn name of that game.
State of Decay.
State of Decay. No, not State of Decay. That's Microsoft. The other one, Days Gone.
Oh yeah.
You know, they got games coming out that we know are coming out in the future. Tales of Tsushima and all that shit. Nintendo got Metroid and Pokemon and Super Smash Brothers and all that good shit, and then Donkey Kong and all that shit that's coming out. Mario Tennis and all that. Microsoft still has the same been waiting years, and the only new game that's coming up is Crackdown that we know about right now. And then if they show another game at E3, that shit ain't gonna come out until late 2019, maybe even 2020. You know what I'm saying? And that's if everything goes right. We saw fucking Crackdown, 2014?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that shit still ain't out. It's 2018. So we, depending on what comes out for the system, I mean, the forecast for the system is grim, and it's been grim all of last year. We got nothing. This year, see if these comes out at a disappointment. And we got an indie game that might be the best thing, and we all know Crackdown more than likely is going to be even more disappointing than Sea of Thieves was. I mean, if you think about if it don't get canceled,
right? At this point, originally, I thought Crackdown would get canceled, but I think with their lack of exclusives, that would only if they were to cancel Crackdown 3, that would only leave Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 for 2018. So I think I think they are going to go ahead and release Crackdown 3, even if the game is broken, even if the game is incomplete. And with them putting the game on Game Pass, it will allow them to get away with doing that kind of stuff because they can release the first chapter of the game and fix whatever else is broken before they release it. Because
shit, I think at this point they can't fix it. I mean, if it's still broken after all these years, they can't fix it because we've heard about it. There was a trailer shown of it 4 years ago, so that means they've been working on it at least 2-3 years before even that. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get that shit right in 7 years, are you going to get it right? Like,
yeah, I agree.
Are you going to get this shit right? You know what I'm saying?
And because we've heard this game has been in development for about 4 years now, and we've heard delay after delay, so the game doesn't even feel like a new game anymore. It almost feels like once the game finally gets released, it's going to feel like, oh, it's about time. Now let me see what we got here. Let's see if this shit is broken. I mean, that's the way it feels to me right now.
Right. That is the way it feels. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. I mean, I think the multiplayer is broken. There's a reason why they haven't shown the most attractive thing about the game, which is the multiplayer. And they haven't shown a slither of it since they fucking showed it the first time 4 years ago or 3 years ago when they showed it. They were supposed to come out with a beta with the shit. They canceled the beta for the online multiplayer. And then why didn't they come out with it 2 years later? They still haven't came out with a beta for the multiplayer. And they still today haven't had any kind of beta for this game. So, and also Microsoft is really good at marketing. They're really good at like being slick with what they do. And usually when, say, PlayStation has an announcement, like the Spider-Man announcement, Xbox will have an announcement. You know what I'm saying? Just to counter it. Sony does the same thing. And they didn't like with Spider-Man, Microsoft didn't announce anything. With God of War didn't release date, they didn't announce shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I think they're truly out of bullets. They are out of bullets. I'm telling you, they close all these. They are out of bullets, man.
Yeah. So before I move on to my next question, I'm gonna respond to Diver. He said hidden. He said hidden. Horizon Zero Dawn took 7 years. Maybe it did. But I will say this.
Did it?
I think I know it took a few years, but I don't know if it took 7 years. That's something that I'm gonna have to dig into. But I will say, regardless, regardless of how long it took, I didn't hear about delay after delay after delay, and I didn't see the thing get advertised at E3 year after year after year, only to be followed with news months later that is going to be pushed back or delayed or canceled.
Horizon took 4 years. You got to understand, Killzone, Guerrilla Games put out Killzone, bro. That was the launch game. They was working on that game for about 4 years while the PS3 was going. After they finished Killzone, and that was before it came out, they went to the drawing board and they wanted to put out something new. It didn't take them 7 years to make Horizon, and 7 years ago they were still working on Killzone. So that's false information. Get your motherfucking literature up, nigga.
Right. I see you say at one point Microsoft announced 1.13 billion hours of live gaming. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I knew that was going to happen. I said that in one of my podcasts that they was going, they was going to release stats of how many pigs got chased through the walls and shit like that.
That was that counter to Spider-Man. Nah.
Right. And then Nvidia, before I move on to the next question for Thrash, you said people expect Microsoft to release games now that when they take years to make. I think the Xbox community, the true Xbox community, have the right to demand games right now because they have been hearing this wait till E3 shit for God knows how many years. They went out, people went out and supported this $500 console. They want games to play on it.
Shit, they supported the goddamn $300 console to play on it. Shit, right. They supported Xbox period, and they're not getting shit for neither one of those motherfuckers.
So I think it is within their right to demand games now. They've had 3-4 years to put games out. And what have you gotten over the past 2 or 3 years? And how many more times do you need to hear wait till E3?
Yeah, real shit. Especially after 2017, I can't see how people are still patient. 2017 was the worst in gaming history. They canceled their biggest game, their biggest new IP for this generation for the Xbox. They canceled it. And then delayed everything else to where they came out with fucking Phantom Dust, Voodoo Vince, Halo Wars 2, and what did they come out with at the end of that year? And Forza. Nigga, like what the fuck? Nigga, on Xbox One X and Lucky's Tale. Cause like, do you understand like how bad that is? And Cuphead. All indies. You know what I'm saying? Like, except Forza, and Forza is basically a goddamn indie. They just use the same fucking cars and polish the graphics and compromise the game through and through. But it's, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just a rap, nigga. Everything they do is a fucking rap, man. This is a rap. Fuck this shit.
So moving on to my second to the last question, because I'll be ready to wrap this up pretty soon because I'm just about out of questions. We've talked before about how Microsoft is kind of a little bit of they see somebody else prospering, they see someone flourishing, and then they jump on it. They put out the avatars because of the success of the Wii. The Kinect came out. because of the success of the Wii. They came out with games with gold because of the success of PlayStation Plus. With that being said, we know that back in E3, they said, high fidelity VR, and they haven't delivered on it yet. And they have sidestepped that question, claimed that there isn't really a market for it right now. So now you fast forward to the situation now, and the PlayStation headset, the PlayStation VR. We know that back in December they had reported they had sold over 2 million headsets. I'm going to guess by now that they might be sitting on 2.5, but in any case, they are now the leaders in the VR market, and they are showing that there's money to be made in VR. With that being said, do you think Microsoft will go back and revisit VR?
Nope. I think that they will. What they were going to do was they were going to get Oculus Rift to run with them, right?
Right.
And you use that technology to play VR, but then nobody's buying Oculus Rift, and then Microsoft isn't making VR games or VR ready games. We would have heard about Sea of Thieves VR or some shit like that just to hype people up for VR. People were telling me that at E3 Microsoft is going to surprise everybody with VR. And I'm like, well, are they going to make their own VR? Are they going to go to Oculus Rift? Are they doing the augmented reality? It's like I think it's so much of a gimmick for them now because they have so little consoles out there that nobody's going to want to buy a $400 VR headset to go with a console that ain't got VR games. And it'll have the same VR games that the PlayStation has. That's not exclusive, and they will look a little bit better maybe, but how much better? $400 better? You know what I'm saying? Then it has to be on the Xbox One X, so that's leaving gamers behind. You know what I'm saying? Because the base Xbox is not going to be able to run that shit. So they made a promise about not leaving gamers behind, and then I'm gonna have to remake that video again to make sure I add VR in there. And it's just so many broken promises that has to be made for VR to actually come out, and there's so many hurdles to be hopped because nobody, like I said, nobody's going to want to pay that much money for a VR headset for minimal games, and then pay $500 for a console to play those minimal games with that VR. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation made the perfect system. They are a hardware company. That's why they could come out with this VR and still make a profit on it because they specialize in hardware. You know what I'm saying? They specialize in technology like this. Microsoft specializes in OS. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. They don't specialize in hardware to where they not gonna be able to make their own shit without it being super expensive like the Oculus, the Microsoft, whatever that shit is called, I forgot. But
The mixed reality or something like that.
Yeah, that shit. They had Minecraft at E3 for no reason. Like that shit cost $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Just to get that. So it's like they don't have the money or they don't have the resources to make it affordable in the console space. They're gonna make it to where you buy an Xbox One X, and if you buy a VR with the shit, it'd be damn near $800-900 to where you could buy a PC that's stronger than the fucking Xbox One X, probably play the VR and the games better. You know what I'm saying? So it's too many hurdles. They didn't fuck themselves off. You know what I'm saying? To even jump into the VR space. I think that's why they shut up about it, because Sony came out with a very cheap VR system on a cheaper, PlayStation system that's made to integrate with the motherfucker. The Pro was made. That's why it's called Morpheus and Neo. Them shits was made to be together. You know what I'm saying? And Microsoft doesn't have that. They just don't have that type of technology unity in their systems to where they're made to be together. You know what I'm saying? The base PS4 can run this shit. The Pro can, but the base Xbox can't because of that fucking SRAM or whatever the fuck they want to say that makes it weak. But it's not going to be able to run it. So Microsoft fucked off. In other words, they just fucked themselves over so many different ways this generation. It's funny to see, my nigga. It's funny.
I agree. When they first revealed the Xbox One X at E3 and they talked about high fidelity VR, that was actually going to be my reason for purchasing an Xbox One X. But as it got towards the release date, they had finally sidestepped the question, finally said that it wasn't a healthy market and what have you. So they took away my only reason for even considering purchasing this console.
Right.
So, now my last question for the night is we know that the Google console, the Google box, whatever you want to call it, is on the way. How do you think that will impact the gaming industry?
I think there's several things to worry about with the not worry about to consider with the Google. I've said this shit a million times, man. You can't. We're not ready for a digital age. We're not ready for a streaming age in gaming. And people say Netflix and they compare Netflix, but Netflix is totally different. You don't control movies live. You just watch them. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to put a picture on a screen. The picture might be coming at us delayed, but we would never notice it because we're still seeing it at the way it is. To where like input, there's no input lag in movies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? A movie just comes. You don't feel no input lag because you're not pressing the button to make it play, you know? So with gaming, it's different. Like you just the infrastructure and the internet is not ready for that yet. You have people with data caps to where if you're consistently streaming gaming, it's consistently sending information with the controller to the server, and then the server sending that information back. There's a lot of information being sucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just too much, and that's just one part of the fucking pie. The other part of the pie is that only 55% of the planet has any type of internet connection, be it phone, be it very, very bad, all of that shit, no matter what. Only 55% of people on planet Earth have access to the internet, good or bad, data cap, no data cap. So you're only getting you're cutting the planet, you're cutting your potential buyers in half if you don't have physical games. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bad thing to start with. You don't want to start your system off as a online streaming game system because you're just cutting off half the world. It's not like cell phones. Cell phones don't need a wired connection or don't need a Wi-Fi connection. They have satellites in the air. There ain't no gaming satellite. So unless Google's doing gaming satellites, my nigga, it's just not going to work. And even cell phones are like, it's still part of that 50% shit. It's just more people are connected through their phones than they are through a landline, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's just too many people being cut out of the pie is what I'm trying to say. Too many people being cut out of the pie in order for you to be successful. It won't make an impact simply because there's just too many people cut out the pie. It's not going to be as bad as Atari box, whatever this shit is called now. It got a real name now, but it's not gonna be as bad as that because Atari just fucked up and just chose the wrong way to do things. I think Google would try to do some shit, but if it's gonna be a streaming only console, it is a mistake because the planet is not ready for that. In order for you to make money off of it like that, to make a dent or to compete with PlayStation, Nintendo, you got to be able to play your shit offline for sure. You know what I'm saying? We're just not ready. The internet is not ready. People are not ready. People can't afford all that shit. It's just not ready. And it's an American-made company. That's another thing. I can't. Americans are some of the greediest, most ruiningest shit ever, my nigga. Like Xbox greed killed them. Think about it.
No.
Name me an American console.
No, I was going to say, America is not one of the greediest countries on the earth. America is the greediest country on the earth.
Real shit. And they'll do it to the detriment of their people. Look at our president. Like that man is there because the Republicans are greedy, my nigga. And they want that nigga to sign off some shit so they can make some money at the detriment of the planet. These niggas want this nigga to bring coal back and turn away like green, you know what I'm saying, green planet fuels and shit to save the ozone layer. They taking all that shit away in order to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like companies like Google and shit like that, they just gonna want money. Look how YouTube is acting right now to where they don't give a fuck that we are putting our own sweat and tears into this shit. They still gonna take away money if they feel they're gonna lose money. So I don't know, man. Google and YouTube is the same shit, and they have the same type of the same type of power, the same type of train of thought, then it's gonna be a failure as well. Period. It's just gonna be a failure as well.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely agree. I really don't know where Google's head is at in terms of what they're going to put out. I mean, you make a great point that with watching a movie, information only goes in one direction. It goes from them to us, whereas gaming online through streaming, the information is sending back and forth. So there's definitely going to be a delay in response time, which is going to cause buffering and what have you. And then so I think with Google, that would be a huge gamble for you to go, a streaming type service for your first venture into the console atmosphere. I think that would be a huge risk with them. But Microsoft, on the other hand, they have their minds made up that this is the direction they're going in. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice for them. Actually, I mean, I think that's the only way they can try to make some kind of dent. They cannot touch the console space the way they are now. They can't. They've proven even when they come out with a good game, Xbox gamers are just not buying them. It's just the console war got so rampant that it's more about bragging rights than it is actually gaming with Xbox guys especially, and it's hurting Microsoft. Like, I mean, to see Halo sell 5 million copies and only 5 million copies while you watch Uncharted 4 sell 10 million. You see Horizon sold 7 million. Horizon outsold Halo, my nigga. Like, Halo was one of those games that broke records. Halo 3, we barely had Halo 5. 2 Halos later, nigga, you broke a record with Halo 3, and then two Halos later, you falling off the fucking map. They know that physically they can't do it. The best way to do it is to make it a service and try to get on every console. To go third party is where they will make money, because like Minecraft, more and more people will get on it if it's available to them on cell phones, on apps, or whatever. So, I mean, with Google trying to just hop in and be its own self, but streaming, I can't even trust a Google game until I see it running. What kind of talent do they have there? Like, what kind of games do they plan to bring? There's just more. At the end of the day, I need games. I can care less about a system. I'll buy a system if it got the games. Period. Yeah. If you got a bomb ass game that attracts me, I'll buy your system to play it. I still need to see what they're gonna bring to the table. Is it gonna be some fucking, social media games or some shit? Like, what is it gonna be? So it's a lot to be seen. I honestly hope they come and compete. To be honest, this is what I hope. I hope they bring physical games on top of their little streaming bullshit. That way people have a choice to whether or not they want to stream or not. And I hope they come with some bomb ass games. I'll be happy. I'm a gamer. I'll be fucking happy. I'll buy that shit day one. But if they don't come with no games, like Atari, nigga, name me an Atari game for the Atari box. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the Atari box trainer? I don't know shit about that. So I don't give a fuck about a box. Just give me my fucking games. The same thing with Xbox. Give a fuck about all that power, nigga. Where the game's at? So if Google doesn't deliver on that message that we have games and we're gonna give you some bomb ass, beautiful, sexy ass games, then it's gonna be a failure out the gate, just like the Atari box.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because one thing's for certain, in my opinion, if they don't have any exclusives, there's no point in even putting this console out there, because with multi-plats, everybody still has several options. The PlayStation 4, the Xbox, and in some cases, the Nintendo Switch, PC. There's 4 options right there. So if you get into if you're going to get into this console space just to put another multi-plat console out there, it makes no sense. So I think the only way they could go that route and go the multi-plat route is if it was free to play, as if they didn't have some kind of subscription like an Xbox Live that you had to sign up for or something.
Something. Or maybe the console costs $50. But then if you make a console cost cheap, it's gonna feel like a cheap console. Like the Ouya. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of games you coming out with this cheap shit? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be a battle, man. They're gonna have to come with their A game. Like the Xbox did. The Xbox came with, especially the 360, they came out strong with that motherfucker, and then ended that generation very horribly. But the Xbox became on the map because they brought some bomb ass games that people wanted to play. Period. The Dreamcast was on the map, and I believe died too soon because they came out with iconic games like Power Stone. You know what I'm saying? And really put themselves on the map. You know what I'm saying? But they just died, and sad story. But you gotta have something. You gotta come in there. You gotta break in strong. You gotta break in hard and break in fast. PlayStation did the same shit. PlayStation had a whole lot of games coming out for the shit, and it broke in and it did its damn thing, and it took Nintendo off the map, even though it was more powerful. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And as some of us said before, this universe just ain't big enough for 4 consoles, so they definitely got to come with something.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
So don't so message to Google if you're thinking about putting out a multi-plat console. You see what's going on with the Xbox One X. Stay your ass at home if you ain't gonna do this shit right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring something. No matter how powerful you bring it, or if you're streaming it, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to come out with some bomb ass games. I'm sorry, you got to have something that I want now. You know what I'm saying? So I want that Mario Tennis right now, nigga. I want that God of War right now. I want Death Stranding, nigga, right now, nigga. I can care less about anything else on the market. I want Spider-Man right now too.
Oh yeah,
but
no
still,
doubt.
I mean, there's games that I want right now, and there's games that I'll wait and see. You know what I'm saying? I'm like State of Decay, I'll wait and see. I know that's not my stilo, but I might try it out. But I'm not fucking knocking beers over running to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Here's what it is.
If it is on the shelf at my local video store, I will give it a try. But
definitely.
That's the only way I'm gonna try. But if it's not there, then I'm not gonna mess with it.
I'm not standing in line for it or nothing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think we've been streaming we've been streaming over 2 hours. So
God damn.
Yeah,
so that's a roundtable podcast right there.
Yeah, so I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. So you want to give me your outro before we sign off?
Yeah, thanks for coming out, y'all niggas. All y'all niggas who did come out, roundtables niggas, sick niggas, basically a roundtable ass nigga himself. Thanks for coming out, y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? I guess God bless. Good night. No. Thank you and fuck you, you bitch ass niggas. There you go. That's the outro I was looking for.
hey, that is definitely the King Thrash style. I definitely want to add to that. Hey, thanks for everybody who came in. Diver, Sick Humor, Xbox Vidiot, Evo, and everybody else who commented. I saw your comments. I wasn't able to respond to them immediately because we was already on the other subjects by the time I saw them. But I definitely appreciate y'all, having a conversation in the comment section. Thanks for watching the stream. I really, really appreciate it.
What are you doing next? That's what I want to know. Who you plan on doing next?
You got
some people up your sleeve. Yeah, who your next guest? You gonna get sick on here? Get Draco. Get Diver ass. Get his fucking ass on here.
All of them.
So I can hop in the comment section. Get on that nigga ass.
Definitely, all of them are on the list. I definitely plan to get to them. Right now, the one that I definitely have to talk to the person to see what's going on is Sick, because we are both on the East Coast. I work first shift, he works third shift, and so we definitely got to find a time to get together, because I definitely want Sick on here. I listen to his podcast all the time, and
yeah, same here.
What he's been saying lately has definitely been interesting. He is flustered with a certain brand, and I definitely wanted to get him on here and get his thoughts. So I will definitely be in touch with Sick more sooner than later so we can find out something. I think based on both of our schedules, I think a Friday may work between me and Sick, and I definitely want to check with him and find out. I'll be in touch with Draco. I'll be in touch with Diver, to have them on the show. I've got some other people in mind to bring them on the show too. And then once I get to everybody, then I'll probably do a round 2 with everybody. So with that being said, there is no question. Sundays and Tuesdays. Okay.
Sundays and Tuesdays.
Yep. Tuesday, an afternoon podcast would probably work for me. Tuesday, sick, before we do the roundtable podcast, because we normally shoot for Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern time, but sometimes we run on ghetto time and we late and shit. Sometimes it is what it is. But I think, I think maybe something like a 4 o'clock. I think something like a 4 o'clock podcast would work perfect for me on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that works.
So sick, if you think you can work that out, definitely let me know, and we could shoot Sunday through Tuesday off. Okay, yeah, we could possibly do a podcast on a Monday too. But without a doubt, you were definitely one of the people on my list that we got to get you in here. And then like I said, once I get through everybody, then I'll do round 2. So with that being said, Thrash, I definitely would love for you to come on here again. This was an excellent podcast tonight. You still with me, brother?
Oh yeah. I was talking. Oh, is this shit biting again?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, I said anytime. It's no problem. Anytime.
Oh yeah. So you heard it from Thrash. He definitely gonna do an encore. He definitely gonna come back. We definitely gotta have him back. Because this is without a doubt, this was an excellent podcast. Thank you, my brother, for coming on. I really, really appreciate it.
No, it's nothing, man. It's nothing at all.
I really appreciate it. Knowing where your mindset is, I know you was gonna have a lot of interesting answers, and I think this was an excellent podcast.
Thank you much, sir. Thank you much.
All right, so I think that's gonna do it. So you heard his outro, so I'll give it to you again. Thanks to King Thrash for coming aboard. That was excellent. And I think we're going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. Let me see. Tomorrow's Friday. I do not know if I will do a live stream, but I will attempt to do a full-blown video over the weekend because I still need to get to that, because I still enjoy that. I hate how long it takes to edit these videos and how long it takes to upload it, but I still like the end result. I still like the end result.
Yeah, real talk. And look out for my Spider-Man 30 Things You Missed in the Spider-Man trailer video coming up soon. So keep an eye out for that. I got another video coming out, but I forgot what it's called. And my skit show will be delayed until next week. You know what I'm saying? I got something good for that one. For sure. Oh, nigga. But yeah, have a look out for that, my niggas.
All right, you heard it from Thrash. Keep an eye out on his next video. I know I will. I can't wait for it. Every time I get that alert, unless I'm in a dead sleep, I drop what I'm doing and watch his videos right then and there. That's how much I like his stuff. So make sure you keep your eye out. Yeah, so yeah, no doubt. So keep your eye out on this video. That's going to do it for us. Thanks again for watching. If you happen to catch the replay, thanks for watching the replay. Make sure you leave a like. If you wish, you can leave a comment and I'll respond to it. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. That's going to do it for us. This is your boy, Lincoln Clay, and with my guest, King Thrash, we are out.
Go.